Hi guys, Reviewz here, bringing you a game review on Donkey Kong Country. This game was one of my favourite games for the Super Nintendo, providing new gamers and veterans alike with a real challenge. This game broke new ground, not only for its technical abilities, but also by reinventing Donkey Kong from one-time Mario nemesis to everyone's favourite laid-back ape. Well, I hope you enjoy this review on Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo. Donkey Kong Country is a side-scrolling platformer video game developed by Rare and released in 1994 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, featuring the eponymous ape Donkey Kong. After finding out that his banana hoard has been stolen by King K. Rool, the leader of the Kremlings, Donkey Kong, along with his nephew and sidekick Diddy Kong, travel throughout Donkey Kong Island in an effort to retrieve the bananas. Aiding Donkey Kong in his quest are Cranky Kong, who provides hints, while constantly finding opportunities to berate his grandson, Candy Kong, who operates the game's save points, and Funky Kong, who offers various means of transportation around the island. Also assisting Donkey Kong are various animal buddies, including Rambi the Rhino, Espresso the Ostrich, Engard the Swordfish, Winky the Frog, and Squawks the Parrot, each with their own unique abilities. Each animal can be found in an appropriately themed level. For example, Engard can only be found in underwater levels, and Squawks will be found in caves. There are 40 side-scrolling levels in Donkey Kong Country, and each level is uniquely themed and consists of various tasks, including swimming, riding in minecarts, launching out of barrel cannons, and swinging from vine to vine. Players will lose a life if they get hit by an enemy or fall off screen, but enemies can be defeated by either rolling into them, jumping on top of them in the style of Super Mario, or performing a ground slam, a move that is only reserved for Donkey Kong. Although in some cases, players must throw a barrel or call for the assistance of one of the animals. In order to gain extra lives, players must collect items scattered throughout the levels, like collecting 100 bananas, golden letters that spell out the word Kong, extra life balloons, and golden animal tokens that lead to bonus levels. Donkey Kong Country has one of two characters to control, Donkey Kong or his nephew Diddy, with the player being able to switch between characters if both are present on the screen. Donkey Kong is the larger and stronger of the two, and thus can defeat enemies more easily. On the other hand, Diddy Kong is faster and more agile, but not as powerful. Personally, I really like the ability to switch back and forth between characters. It forces you to use each character more strategically, as both Donkey and Diddy have abilities that are suited to certain levels. The game can be played solo or with two players. In two-player mode, there are two types of play, contest and team. In contest mode, players take turns playing each level as quickly as possible, with the object being to complete the most levels in the fastest time. In team mode, both players instead play together, with one player controlling Donkey Kong, while the other controlling Diddy. The levels are organised in the form of screen maps, with an overreaching island map as well to track your progress, and also navigate your way to the next level. Unfinished levels are marked by Kremlings, while completed levels are marked by members of the Kong family. Each map has one boss at the end of the course, which must be defeated in order to travel back to the main map screen. Before production of Donkey Kong Country, Rare's Chris and Tim Stamper performed experiments with a Silicon Graphics workstation, initially wanting to create a boxing game. Nintendo, impressed with their progress, opened up talks between Rare and the then president of Nintendo of Japan, Hiroshi Yamaguchi. Nintendo acquired 25% of the company, which culminated in the production of a new title using STI technology, with the Stampers expressing interest in creating a game based on Donkey Kong. The Donkey Kong character was redesigned with a three-dimensional physical appearance and borrowed the red necktie introduced in the 1994 Game Boy version of Donkey Kong, in the process creating a look that will become the standard for all games featuring the character. From a graphical perspective, Donkey Kong Country was revolutionary, as it was one of the first games for a mainstream home video game console to use pre-rendered 3D graphics, a technique that would also be used in the 1993 UK game Stardust for the Amiga and Rare's Killer Instinct. In creating the look of the game, Rare took a significant financial risk in purchasing the expensive SGI equipment used to render the graphics, and in doing so, developed a new compression technique that allowed Rare to incorporate more detail and animation for each sprite in a given memory footprint than had previously been achieved on the 16-bit Super Nintendo. This technique later became known as advanced computer modeling. The music in the game, composed by Robin Beanland, Eveline Fischer, and David Wise, is catchy and has a good jungle rhythm, from the bongo beat of the jungle to the dark, dank sounds of underground caves. The music creates a unique atmosphere for each level, which really enhances the immersion process. I could believe that I was in a particular level. As part of the marketing strategy for Donkey Kong Country, Nintendo released a 15-minute VHS tape titled Donkey Kong Country Exposed that was sent to subscribers of Nintendo Power magazine, which I have in my collection. The tape showed a brief tour of Nintendo of America's headquarters and footage from the game in its final stages of development. I don't remember this ever being done for a game before, and when I saw this video, I couldn't wait to get my hands on the game. This video was the forerunner to playable demos, and at the time was a unique marketing gimmick. The game is not to be underestimated, it's no walk in the park. Sure, it starts off nice and easy, but soon gets progressively difficult, with seemingly impossible situations, including my arch nemesis, the Zingers. I absolutely hated those guys. The only way they could be defeated was to throw barrels at them, and when you could see several of them at certain areas, instant death awaited. I don't know how my SNES controller survived the thrashing I gave it. Donkey Kong Country was re-released in 2000 for the Game Boy Color, with a new level, and again in 2003 for the Game Boy Advance, with new features including mini-games, hidden pictures, and a time trial mode. The game also received 2 sequels, Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy Kong's Quest in 1995, and Donkey Kong Country 3 Dixie Kong's Double Trouble released in 1996. With tons of replay value and crazy difficulty, this game has so much to come back for. Even today it holds up incredibly well, and is probably better than half of what comes out today. Donkey Kong Country is one of the joys of my childhood, and couldn't be recommended enough. Well, that was my review on Donkey Kong Country. If you liked what you saw, please let me know by leaving a comment, rate this video, and please check out my gaming rewind on the Donkey Kong series. Until next time, peace out guys.